Welcome to Dishing Heat with Wolfie and Big Shot Song. We are your hosts, Nathan Wolf.
And Max Song.
In today's episode, the All-Star Game reserves were just released, so we're going to draft, pretending that Max is LeBron and I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo. We're going to draft All-Star teams and discuss who had the better draft. Would you like the first overall pick, Max?
Give me my boy Kyrie. You knew I was going to take Kyrie. Kyrie is a perfect player in the All-Star game. He hasn't made it in a while because he's been injured. He hasn't been that good, or people just don't like him. He hasn't been in the favor of the media recently. But this year, first in All-Star voting for guards in the East, in fan bases anyways. So give me Kyrie. He's a dynamic player, one of the most entertaining players in the entire league to watch. He can shoot and score from literally anywhere. I think he's going to win the the All-Star MVP this year, but that's my hot take. But give me my boy Kyrie.
Yeah, see, part of me wants to take the other Nets guy just to take it from you, but I'm going to take Steph Curry because, listen, he's Steph Curry. Honestly, if you're thinking of any player in the league I'd want to put beside Giannis, I think Steph's that guy. Steph is my favorite All-Star Game player. He shoots from wherever the heck he feels like shooting it, and guess what? He drills them all. Plus, the amount of no-look shots he's going to make. If we're talking about All-Star Game, I think Steph Curry's that guy. But even in general, Steph Curry, it's the efficiency, it's everything. Steph Curry is the top echelon of players in the league. I know this year he's had injuries, and he's not necessarily in the MVP race like some of these other guys. But if you're going to take Kyrie, I got to take Steph Curry.
You already know I'm going to take the next Nets guy. I got to rep the Nets, man. I'm going to take KD. Assuming he's playing, I hope he plays. He says he's going to be back a couple of games before the All-Star game. But give me KD, man. A 7-foot monster that can launch it from anywhere. He can score with anyone on him, and no one's going to be playing defense in the All-Star game. So just imagine a 7-footer launching like a 35-footer and just hitting all the threes, and then Kyrie slashing through the lane. Two of the most dynamic scorers in the league today. Give me KD with my second pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I'm between two for my next pick. It's difficult because I kind of do want to build a decent team comp-wise, so Curry and Giannis. With that being said, I'm gonna grab Jokic as my center, and we'll make
Bad pick.
Giannis the power forward. I think
Bad
Jokic
pick.
is really
Bad pick in the All-Star game, man.
I think Jokic is fun in an All-Star game.
Nah, bad pick in the All-Star game.
Dude, he does goofy things. I think he's entertaining. All right, he's gonna raise the team morale. But not only that, like he just passes the ball. He's gonna find open shooters in the corner because that's all we do in the All-Star game. He just goes around and does goofy things. I don't know if you watched the last All-Star game. He always seems to do something silly, and I think he's gonna do it again. I would take Jokic. I know there's other guys who are more fun, but to me, Jokic is the ultimate fun guy. Listen, for media appeal and everything, we need Jokic on the team for sure. So I'm taking Jokic.
No. You played right into my hat. But give me Zion. Zion is a perfect All-Star game player. Can you imagine him running the floor next to LeBron, Kyrie, and KD? How are you going to stop that? Like, with defense, it's impossible. Zion's about to bust out some, 360 East Bay dunks in the All-Star game, man. Give me Zion.
No, Zion was terrible in the last All-Star game. He missed the first 7 shots, and they were all dunks, and he just brick dunked.
He was fatter. He's more fit this time.
Plus, yeah, and Zion's my boy. Don't get me wrong, but I also cannot put Zion beside Giannis. It just doesn't make any sense. There's
That's
no way
fair.
I can do that. So Zion was never even in the conversation. I'm gonna take Luka Doncic though. He was the guy I was between with.
Good pick.
I think Luka, he works. You make it work beside Curry. He'll make it happen. I know we have a lot of ball dominant guys, but everyone who's an All-Star starter basically is gonna end up being ball dominant. I think it's just gonna be really fun. Luka and Curry are gonna be an awesome backcourt. And again, we're making the comedy team. All right, Giannis, Jokic, and Luka. Find me a funnier team. Period. You just can't. So listen, we're talking about All-Star stuff. We're building towards it. It's gonna be good things. We're gonna be 40-foot triples being launched by everyone. So 100% I'm taking Luka.
That was the right pick, but I'm going to go with Jason Tatum with the next pick. I don't think it's close between him and Mitch on my team, even though Mitch has been great. Jason Tatum, man, he's third in All-Star in MVP voting or something, last I checked, but he's a perfect fit next to KD and Kyrie, LeBron, and Zion. He can space the floor, he's big, he's athletic. Tatum is like a Swiss Army knife almost in an All-Star game. He can do a little bit of everything. He could score on you with 6 threes. He could dunk on Giannis. I don't know. But yeah, give me Tatum over Mitch.
I honestly think D-Mitch might be a better All-Star game guy because D-Mitch throws down the actually exciting dunks. No one's standing in the lane to take a dunk, so Tatum has no one to poster. He doesn't do fun things on his dunks. D-Mitch does. D-Mitch can shoot the lights out. We're going to play him off the ball and just have him run around, cut, do some crazy dunks, launch ridiculous threes. He has that scoring potential. If he's off, who cares? It's an all-star game. But if he's on, he's on. I think he could be a dark horse for all-star MVP. He just like starts lighting it up for fun. Dude will launch a billion three. So yeah, I don't mind D-Mitch. Give me that.
All right, so that's the starters. So the starters are well, I'm LeBron, so I have KD, Kyrie, the Nets, Tatum and Zion. You have as Giannis. You have D. Mitch, Jokic, Curry, and Luka. I think it's pretty close. The talent in the NBA is crazy these days, but I think my team is more entertaining, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, I like the Euro boys. Honestly, I like my team.
All right, let's go to the reserves then. You get the first pick here. Yeah, you can just go for it.
The reserves is really tough because it's such a long list of players. So I want to make sure I draft right. Um, yeah. Okay, there's a few guys here. I'm building a top three in my head here. Um, all right. If we're talking about in terms of All-Star games, give me Joel.
Okay,
Um,
that was
Joel's
the obvious pick.
yeah, Joel's averaging like 30 something points a game. Um, I know we already have centers and bigs, but we now have all three of the top like center candidates. At this point, we got Joel, Jokic, and if you're gonna run Giannis as a center, it depends on what you're playing him as. But um, Joel can shoot. Joel is uber fun. Again, we're adding to the comedy team here. Um, Joel can just do a bunch of ridiculous things. So I like Joel for this. He's gonna do dumb things in the post. He can dunk. He's the celebration game. Yeah, and plus, I mean, in terms of actual play, the guy is this a top tier MVP candidate. I feel like he's not getting the love he deserves on a good team, averaging 33 points a game. I think so. Yeah, give me Joel.
I think it's actually higher now. Bro doesn't. He scores like crazy. It's unbelievable
Is
from the
it
center.
really?
I think it's 34 now. It's
Jeez.
crazy, but I'm gonna take a more entertaining player because Joel Embiid gets a lot of his points from flopping and free throws. Even though he's good, he's great in the actual game. Don't get me wrong, but I think the most entertaining player in the reserves is John Morant because his dynamic dunks, man. You want to talk about D Mitch dunking? Talk about John Morant dunking in the lane next to Zion, man. Those two alternating lobs and doing windmills. Come on, give me John.
Yeah, that's who I was between. John makes a lot of sense. Definitely not faulting you for that pick. We're getting down. Oh, I want to take some guys just because they're all-star guys. How much dependent are we on? Like, how important is being an all-star guy versus just like who I want to draft for like player?
You can draft however you want. Just explain it. I'll flame you for it anyways.
Okay, I bet I'm between two guys again. Wow, I hate myself. I'm gonna take Dame because he's the other all-star guy who's just gonna launch a billion foot threes. Listen, I'm not saying Dame is better than a lot of these guys on the list. Don't get me wrong. But if we're gonna talk about building the greatest shooting team, other than Giannis, no one and I didn't even draft Giannis. No one on here is missing. Dame and Curry together are just gonna launch a billion foot threes. Yeah, they were going at it one year in the All-Star game. I just think as an All-Star guy, Dame is the right pick here. I just want to build a team that can shoot from anywhere past half court, and Dame's the guy for that.
I think that was a good pick. I was gonna pick him next. Oh, this is tough now. I think there's a couple better players in the player I might pick. Okay, I'm gonna go with a first time All Star. I'm gonna go with Larry Markkinen. Lowry is a guy with so many dunks and so many threes in the NBA today. He's so athletic. It's underrated how athletic he is. He can definitely create a highlight in the All Star game. He can shoot the lights out as well. So Lowry as a first time All Star, I actually love him in terms of entertainment. So I'm gonna take Lowry Markkinen. It might be a bit early, but I love him a lot. So give me Lowry.
I do think it's a little early. I was thinking of him not with this next pick, but with the one after maybe. He's a lot of fun though. I think people don't get how good his game is. If you haven't watched highlights, sit down and just watch Larry Markkinen highlights. The posters, yeah, he's launching ridiculous triples. He's just scoring from everywhere. I think if you look at his numbers, you don't get it. The eye test really helps with this guy. With my next pick though, I'm gonna take the guy I was debating between because he's my guy. I'm taking SGA.
Shea. I knew it. I knew it.
SGA is my guy. I'm 100% a fan. The guy's averaging 30 points a game. He's got that beautiful touch inside. I mean, he can shoot. If we need a game winner, I don't mind looking at SGA. He's knocked down $1 billion at this point. I mean, if we're gonna need someone to eventually slash, and a lot of the other guys, the Dames and Currys are gonna launch $1 billion for threes, but in an All-Star game, they ain't slashing. So we need someone to do it. Give me SGA. He's my guy. I just don't see why you don't pick it. Plus, he'll pass, he'll play make for the rest of the team. So give me SGA.
See, I love SGA in an actual NBA game. I just don't see him being that fun in an All-Star game. Sure, he play makes great and he can score like everywhere on the floor, but it's not really in a dynamic way, other than some of his ankle breakers, and that's not going to happen in an All-Star game. So SGA is a great player, but I wouldn't have picked him in terms of an All-Star game. Who I am going to pick is I'm going to take the other Boston Celtic. I'm going to take Jaylen Brown. Talk about a player that you almost fear more than Jason Tatum. It's kind of like the Warriors in the finals a couple years ago. You know Curry's their best player, but you almost fear Clay to pop off more than Curry. And that's the kind of player that Jaylen Brown is for the Boston Celtics this year. He's arguably more athletic than Tatum. He's got so many dynamic dunks, like 4 of them on Giannis, I think. So he's going to dunk on you being Giannis. And he can pop off from 3. He has streaks. Watch the game against the Nets. As a Nets fan, it was so painful to watch that, but it was also beautiful to see him go completely crazy. Jaylen Brown it's one of the streakiest players, so if he has a hot hand, I could totally see him being such an impactful player in the All-Star game, and he's entertaining to watch. So give me Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, good pick. He's definitely a streaky guy. I'm actually kind of shocked that 3-point percentage isn't really there this year compared to what it's been in past years, especially his last All-Star appearance. That year he was shooting the absolute lights out, but I think Jaylen Brown's definitely a good pick. Definitely an All-Star guy. I don't know if I agree with the Clay Curry thing. I still think you're always fearing Curry more just because of the well, but fair enough. I see what you mean. Game 6 Clay and whatnot. We're looking at All-Star guys. In terms of the next All-Star guy, then give me PG. The handle on that
Damn, that was my pick.
6'7". Yeah, the handle on that man is 6'7" is absolutely ridiculous. He could throw down posters. He's still got the athleticism. Maybe not as much as he used to have, but it's still there. The guy can shoot the lights out too.
Oh, you stole my pick.
Yeah, I really like Paul George. If defense needs to be played by the end of the game, he can do it. In terms of like the fact that we don't have a lot of like perimeter defenders, late in games, if this starts to get serious, we might be running out PG. Because you got to remember the last like 5 minutes of the game, or if we're still playing up to a score, which I think we are, then that's going to be important. So yeah, give me PG.
I'm between 2 players, and it's so close for me because, okay, actually, if defense needs to, I'm going to take Bam Adebayo. Because Bam is, again, one of those players that will post to everyone, but he is going to be crucial if defense is actually played down the line in the All-Star game against players like Joel Embiid and Jokic that you have. Plus, he has a beautiful midi game, so he can kind of space the floor-ish, and he's switchable. So he can guard, like, if Curry is popping off from 3, he can at least slow him down a little bit, and Embiid's not going to be able to do that. So I'm gonna take Bam with my next pick.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. The thing is now we're getting down. You're not gonna see a lot of these guys hit the floor much. When we talk about All-Star games, most of these guys are gonna play maybe 10 minutes. So we're looking for someone to plug and play for a little bit.
No, don't take him. Don't take him.
They're not gonna be defensive guys necessarily. I'm between 2. I'm gonna grab DeMar.
You stole my pick again.
DeMar's got the mid-range game. Everyone on my team can shoot, so I don't mind DeMar coming in as long as he can play at the same time as SGA. Again, we need another forward because we've drafted 2 guards. We've drafted another starting lineup on the bench, really. DeMar can finish over anyone. He's hyper athletic. He's going to post you up and shoot a few middies. If he knocks him down, that's going to be really nice. He'll probably pop a 3 that won't go in, which will be unfortunate. 1 possession loss isn't the end of the world. So yeah, give me DeMar.
Good pick. Damn, I wanted him. I'm gonna hate myself for this next pick because I love Domas, but I'm gonna take Drew Holiday. Even though I don't think he should have been an All-Star this year, I think Harden should have easily been an All-Star over Drew Holiday this year. He's averaging 11 assists on the second best team in the Eastern Conference. Come on, give some love to Harden. The disrespect is crazy, but I'm going to take Drew, even though I don't think he should be an All-Star, because you do have some of the best guards on your team. You got Curry and Dame popping off, and Drew, if you saw some All-Star games that he's been in, he does play defense when he needs to, and he slows down. He's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. So if it gets really close at the end and you need to play defense, I think you underestimate how some of the bench players pop off the bench and just play some crucial defense on like Curry or Dame. So I think Drew Holiday will be able to do that. So I'm gonna take Drew.
Yeah, that's fair. I definitely I'm like I don't know if I hate Drew Holiday being an all-star, but I certainly don't love it. I do agree with you. I think Harden just makes a little bit more sense. That's maybe a different debate. I don't know. The All-Star game was interesting this year. I feel like they're focusing on defense with like Drew and JJJ, but maybe that's a conversation for another day. Because I gotta take my next pick here. We have four players left. Yes.
Yes. Wait,
Okay.
do we? No, we got. Oh, you're right. Wait. Yeah, you're right. My bad. Four players left.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the Domas, Randall, Tyrese, JJJ.
Yep.
So with that being said, uh, I'm gonna take Hallie.
Ooh.
I know he has the unconventional shot, but I just like Hallie more than a lot of the players on this list. I do love Domas too. Don't get me wrong, you'll probably grab him next. I love Sabonis. Maybe he isn't the all. I feel like this draft trended a little bit too much towards all-star stuff, um, instead of normal players. So that's why I'm gonna go Halliburton. It was between the two because I need someone to pass the ball, come off the bench, and just create for a little bit, not to be too selfish. And Halliburton's gonna be that guy. He's not getting on threes at an insane clip too, even though he has that unorthodox shots. You certainly can't leave him open. He seems like a guy, first time All Star. He's gonna take it seriously. He might, drive, get us a few buckets that way. He may won't be playing at the end of the games, especially with all the guards we got. But I actually like Hallie.
Good pick. That would have been my next pick as well. But you guessed it, I'm gonna take Domas. I love Domantas Sabonis. People hate him for some reason. I don't understand why he's so underrated. It's probably because he was traded for Tyrese Halliburton, right? Tyrese is amazing, and I still don't understand why the Kings did that, but whatever. The Kings have looked great. They have the best offense in the league with Domas. Um, Domantas Sabonis can certainly come off the bench, hit you with some like boom boom bam Hakeem type moves, and give you a little soft hook, and that's really all I need from him. The rest of the players, I think, are barely going to play. Like they're not even relevant. So Domantas Sabonis is a good player, and his defense has been better this year. So Sabonis is a good player. I'll choose him.
Yeah, I love Sabonis. He's just stupid efficient. I think yeah, the conversation about the Hallie trade is interesting. I still think it's a bad trade no matter what happens, but it almost felt necessary because the Kings have to make the playoffs, and this seemed like the only way that we were going to fast track that. Like you got to build a winning culture. I don't know. It's like a weird trade where like they lose, but I think they still had to do it. I don't know, but yeah, that trade will always be confusing. But he's having an awesome year. With that being said, with my last pick, I'm gonna grab Randall just because I am dumbfounded that JJJ is an all-star, and I refuse to believe it, and I refuse to accept him as an all-star. So I'm not gonna take him. His defensive stats are inflated. We've all seen the conspiracy videos.
On the
That
Reddit.
they're inflated. I'm curious to see if they actually are. I gotta find like a real source. I've just been seeing the videos, but I haven't really looked into it too much. But yeah, I don't love Randall. But he jacks a lot of threes, but both these guys were just gonna come off the bench and jack threes. At least Randall can make them sometimes. I don't know. Maybe he'll do some nice spin moves or something. Neither of these guys are really gonna play. Or maybe it's the wrong pick, but I just don't want JJ on my team, so give me Randall.
I hate JJJ as an all-star. I don't even like him that much as a player. I think he's overrated as a player, even though he's been pretty good defensively this year. I don't like him. I don't like the Grizzlies as a whole, but I guess you have to leave me with JJJ. But I do think in an all-star game, I'd rather have JJJ than Randall. Randall is the definition of a player that is not going to be the first option, but he plays like a first option. And he chucks up too many threes. He can play make sometimes, but it's inconsistent. He has too many turnovers. In an all-star game, he's more or less useless, I think, because he's just going to break off back rim. I'm gonna predict that he's going to chuck up 5 threes, and they're all going to hit back rim. And that's what Randall's going to do. JJJ, on the other hand, he could get a pass from Jaw. So I have the pair of the Nets, the Celtics, and the Grizzlies. So they have some chemistry already. Jaw could totally go for a dunk, pass it out to JJJ, and JJJ could shoot it from like 36 feet and launch it with his weird form. Like that could totally work. And I think JJJ will be more effective off the bench than Randall to just hit a weird, funky three. So I hate that he's an all-star, but I'd rather have JJJ.
I hate his shot, man. His shot is
It's
just
so
so.
ugly. It's like the white kid in the corner in junior high that like launches it from his chest. It's so
Yeah,
ugly.
yeah. It's so bad. Him being an all-star doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like with the games played, everything. I really I just don't get it. It's yeah, I don't know. I don't like his game that much. I think he's stupid overrated. But I'll leave you with him for sure. I think maybe he does an all-star thing or two. I don't know.
Yeah, all right. Let's recap our teams then. So at your point guard, you're gonna have Luka, right? Not Curry. Yeah, Luka will be your point guard.
Yeah, I'll
Probably.
go. I can read you my starting lineup, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll go Lucas, Steph, D, Mitch, Giannis, Jokic.
Yep, that's your lineup. My lineup will go. What is my lineup? It'll go Kai. Who do I put at the shooting guard at the starting? I guess I'll put Tatum at the shooting guard. Oh, I have a big lineup. I have Kai at point, Tatum at shooting guard, KD at small forward, Zion at power forward, and LeBron at center. I don't have
You could
center. I guess
you
I'll
could have gone
put
point Braun,
point Braun. Yeah, I could. Who would I put at the center then? KD.
KD.
Yeah, KD's actually been a good rim protector. You know, I'll do that. I'll go Braun, Kai, Tatum, Zion, KD. I think that's actually a good lineup.
And
I
then yeah,
think.
the reserves for
Yeah, go
the
for it.
reserves for me are Joel, Dame, SGA, PG, DeMar, Halliburton, Randall. I think they go kind of in order, but um, we're mainly gonna see play out of the top four. So the Joel, Dame, SGA, PG. I think mainly, yeah, the Joel, Dame are the two that I'm really looking forward to just doing fun things. Everyone else, they'll be good, but I'm very excited about that pairing.
Being able to draft Joel off the bench is such a hack. It's actually crazy. Uh, Off the bench, I have Jaw, I have Larry Marketing, Jalen Brown, Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, and Domas. Oh, and JJJ. I also have JJJ, but I'm gonna forget he exists. Whatever. Uh, the rest of the players though. So I think it'd be a close matchup. But I think it depends who has a hot hand. You do have the better shooting with Curry and Dame. That would be terrifying if both of them popped at the same time.
Yeah,
Oh my god. But I'm gonna have more highlights. That's what I drafted for.
I think
Zion dunking, Jaw dunking, Larry Marketing dunking, Bam Adebayo dunking, Jalen Brown dunking, Tatum dunking, KD and Kai hooking from mid range and like breaking people's ankles. Braun is just dishing out everything, and I think he'll probably launch like 40 footers. To be honest, he does not care. He's Braun is 4,000 years old now, and he's still starting in the All Star game. He's just gonna launch shots. It doesn't even matter. Um, so I think it's a close matchup. Your team probably has better chemistry than mine. I think you drafted more for fit, but mine is kind of just like a conglomerate of different talents. But it would be fun to
yeah,
watch for sure.
your team is certainly fun. I just think my team. I think we can shoot the absolute lights out, and we got the better center core. We got the better lineup of bigs when it matters later in the game. Um, and to me, I think that's just gonna push it over the top. We're gonna just shoot the entire first three quarters. Hopefully, get ahead or at least stay close. As long as people can get hot, stay hot, and then by the end of the game, when it starts to matter, the centers are gonna be in there creating buckets. The shooting is still definitely gonna be there. You're gonna have to worry about our bigs and then just we're gonna shoot the lights out from everywhere. There's no way to stop these teams. All-Star games are always interesting. I feel like one day we gotta somehow see it like more than 2 minutes, but like maybe at least a quarter of these guys trying. Like it's incredible to me to even think about that all these guys are supposed to be like the guy for all their teams. Like what happens when you put them all together? Like in a real offense, imagine. Like I wish we could somehow see that. It'll never happen, but
The
it
closest
would
thing
be
you
so
ever
cool.
get to see is like a Team USA practice. But
Yeah.
remember like what PG did to his leg, man? I think that's the reason why a lot of these players don't go full try hard in these games because they don't want to snap their leg like PG did. So I don't think we'll ever see that much competition, but I'm sure that we'll see more competition in the future. Ever since Kobe died, like rest in peace, it's been more competitive, and I've liked the game format more. So
Yeah, it's much smarter. I really like it. I think I agree with you. The only time we're ever gonna see is maybe um I don't know if everyone plays in the next Olympics or World Cup. If we saw like a USA, trying to think, Slovenia or something, so somewhere that has enough NBA talent that USA is gonna have to try.
well, I
That would be
guess
interesting.
is Giannis allowed to play for Slovenia? No, they're all from Europe, but whatever. So it'd be like Luka and Jokic versus who's the young talent like Tatum, Mitch Brown,
No, he plays
Shea
for
Jaw
Serbia, no?
does. Oh, you're right.
And SJ plays for Canada.
Yeah, SJ. Oh, he does. I forgot SJ is Canada, like Canadian, bro. I'm from. We're from Canada. I should have known that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tripping. That's my fault. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever see that. But I think a Team USA practice, they actually go pretty hard on those. I like seeing the one-on-ones, like when PG was cooking a couple years ago.
And Booker too. Yeah, they're always fun.
Speaking of Booker, do you think Booker could have made this? Nah, he didn't play enough games. The guards are so stacked in the West. Shea, Curry, Luka, Dame, Ja. That's a stacked guard lineup. That's crazy.
What were you saying?
I was just saying, like the West has a stacked guard lineup. It's actually crazy how stacked it
Oh,
is.
the West is nuts. Like the fact that SJ is not a starter and probably won't be all NBA team one is just sad, honestly, to me. Like it's just frustrating. I feel like SJ deserves to be a starter. He deserves to be all NBA tier one in most seasons. Um, even guys like yeah, Ja. There's so many guards. Dame. It's really insane in the West. For sure. Booker. You're talking about Booker being an All Star, right?
Yeah, I don't think it
I
was
just
possible.
I don't think he played enough games again. I like we're sneaking guy. I get it if we're sneaking guys in with like low enough games anyway, like JJJ at 35, then like what's another 5 games? But also I don't know. There's a point where it gets to be too much to me.
For sure. Okay, so let's wrap up the episode. Let's each give a prediction for All-Star MVP, and then we'll call it an episode. You can go first. I think I
Who
already
won
gave mine.
last year? Did Curry win last year?
Curry did win last year,
There's gonna be voter fatigue with All Star,
yeah. That's stupid, but yeah.
huh? Oh shoot, who's my All Star MVP? I feel like it's gonna be tough. I feel like my team is better to win, but I don't see a lot of like MVP candidates jumping out at me. Got to be one of my starters, right? I don't think it'll be a big. I don't think bigs will win MVP. They don't very often. D-Mitch is my dark horse. I think it's very possible he just like gets hot and wins MVP. I think it'd be really cool. But give me Luca. He hasn't won yet. He's a fan favorite. Um, he'll launch a bunch of triples, do some cool things. His stats will probably look nice with rebounds and assists. And by the end, I think once we win, our MVP will be Luca.
No one gives a damn about assists in the All-Star game, but we are analyzing triple-double statistics in the All-Star game for MVP. It's who puts on the best show and who wins. My team's going to beat yours, by the way. But who's going to win All-Star MVP? Give me my boy Kyrie. You already know him. He hasn't been an All-Star game for a couple of years. He's motivated. He's healthy. He's going to pop off. No one can guard him. He can score everywhere. I'm already going to predict he's going to drop something like 40 points in the All-Star game. He's so ready to play. And I think if LeBron plays him, I'd love to see them play together again. It's been really, really long since I've seen them play together. So give me Kyrie. He's a dynamic scorer. I think he's even more explosive than D-Mitch at times. So give me Kai. I'm going to predict him because he hasn't been in the All-Star game for a while, and he's going to come back with a vengeance.
I think motivated and All-Star game are strong words, but
Trust me.
fair.
Trust me. Kyrie gotta earn back the respect of people.
I believe you.
All right. So we'll call it an episode then. Thanks for listening. Make sure to check out our Linktree, which includes several pages. We have our Instagram at Dishing Heat Pod, our TikTok at Dishing Heat, and also our YouTube, which is also Dishing Heat. We release a new episode every week on Monday, 5 a.m. Eastern Time. We release reels 4 times a week, as well as posts with opinions on players 3 times a week. We often collaborate with other people, so often reach out if you want to collaborate with us for sure. Make sure to check us out on all our different platforms. Until next time, we're out.